Welcome to day 2 of getting you 4 to 5 figure deals without the overwhelm, even if you don't have an offer or prospects yet. We are on with the amazing John Logar. Hey, John.
Hey, everybody. Good to be back again. Day 2. Got some fun stuff. Going to get some free leads, which is always very good to use with some of the offers that we made yesterday, so we can reach out to people and have conversations today or tomorrow.
And this is actually the one thing, this is the one thing that most people struggle with the most, right? Getting leads is easy. Getting quality leads is a little bit harder, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess in terms of quality, it's also you need to understand who it is or what does constitute a good quality lead, and how do we identify these people, and more importantly, how do we actually engage these people? So yesterday we talked about creating a compelling offer. Today we can take those compelling offers from our live training yesterday and actually send them out to the leads that I'm literally going to hand over to you, all of you, on a silver platter. I'm going to literally show you how to build a lead list really fast, and then go into actually sharing that message if you want to share it on multiple platforms, to open up and start the conversation of how you help people get a result with what you do.
So a few housekeeping items before we start. Really, really cool stuff. John is giving away one of the things that he never gave away before. It's a $2,000 fast start coaching program. John, tell them what's in the program, and then we'll tell them how they can get it.
Well, Fast Start Consulting essentially is a program that I developed to do exactly that, to get out of the gate and get up and running very quickly. So it goes through the sales process. I provide a pitching deck on how to actually pitch rather than propose, so you can ask people to invest in your services right up front. It goes through a step-by-step process to speed up the actual sales process. And ultimately, I give you some of the tactical things like some of my scripts and emails, so that you can literally get out of the gate really quickly. So it is a very quick step-by-step fast start process that will help people generate clients in the marketplace.
So how do you get that, right? So, when we were kids, we learned through play, right? We play ball, we talk and stuff like that. And then we learned how to walk and how to play and how to draw and all that stuff. And then we grew up and learning became like very tedious and labor intensive and very hard. And so we want to change that for you, because I think you're treating this like a game, right, John? You don't take anything personally, are you?
No, not at all. I mean, gamification is just an incentive. If we play, it's business is a game as well. But if we're playing all out, then obviously through our efforts, somewhere along the line, our feedback is a reward.
Yeah. And so what we're doing is we are going to actually make this a fun thing, so that you don't get attached to the results. You can get clients and have fun with the process. And to do that, when you join Consulting Rocket Live, you're going to see this, right? This is the page where we're on right now. You can hop on in right now, click this button, and speak with John in real time about all your lead generation challenges, right? Right here, you can get access to this worksheet that we're going to work on today. We're going to help you fill this up so you have a bunch of leads. But right here on the top, you see it says win, right? And register to play. So when you click on that, you'll see all the stuff that you can get. Becoming a member, referring a new member. Every time you watch a video, every time you comment, every time you interact, you're getting points. And right now, our leaderboard is filled with people who are viewing posts, who are sharing. I think number 1 is Francis. Francis, you're here with us, so congratulations. Really exciting. So all you guys have to do, hop on in, create an account, super free, and join, watch, comment, interact, share, and you might get that first prize. The second prize is just as amazing, because that will give you one-on-one time with John. You're going to record the whole coaching session. You're going to talk about your strategies and your pitching and your presentation and anything that you need. So you're going to get some one-on-one time with John, which is priceless. So hop on in, consultingrocket.tv/live. Hop on in into this conversation so you can get your specific question answered today and learn how to fill up these new prospect leads that you're gonna populate today so that you can call them tomorrow, engage with them tomorrow, and the next day and start building those conversations that leads into sale. Because remember, we want you to turn December from a spending month to a making money month, right? So let's get started, John. How do we find leads?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so that at least, because I'm actually going to show you exactly where to find some leads in the market. So I'm just going to click on my button, hopefully share my screen.
Yep.
You should be able to see my slide deck. So finding hot qualified prospects is what we're looking for as an opportunity in the marketplace. So to be able to do that effectively, what we're trying to do is the best place to find prospect lists, questions that you have to answer first whilst you're building this list. There are so many types of lists that you can build, and I'm going to share with you the fastest list that you can build that can generate your first opportunities if you're just starting out. For those of you who are freelancers, this is a list that I would highly recommend everybody do utilize. And also if you're an agency, this is also a list that you can use and including your team to access prospective clients very, very quickly. But number one, who will benefit the most from your offer? We talked about the types of offers we had yesterday: results-driven offers, reverse engineered offers, a direct offer to demonstrate or to teach what you know. So who will benefit the most from your offer is an identifier that you're looking for. What is the identity of the decision maker? Are they the CEO, the CMO, the owner, the founder, the president, the managing partner? What is the identity of that person? What are the demographics, sociographic, and characteristics of that lead list? So I'm going to walk through the characteristics, demographic, and sociographics just to give you a perspective of exactly the types of ideal businesses that you can engage who have the money to spend 4 to 5 figures or more on your services. And the last one is, what is the best source to find them? So I'm going to literally show you live how to get leads. I'm going to show you some of the places where I've generated leads, some of the places where some of my consulting champions have generated hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales by just going to these key lead lists. And let me tell you, there are literally thousands and thousands of sources of free leads. Now, alternatively, you can buy leads and you can generate leads by running ads and campaigns. But for the purpose of this exercise, I want to show you how to access leads really quickly. I'm going to share with you very quickly the most compelling database of lead lists and how to go in there and how to extract ideal people to go to the marketplace. We don't need tens of thousands of leads. This is a misconception. A lot of people believe, say, look, if I've got thousands of leads, then I've got thousands of opportunities. The challenge with having thousands of leads is that it's almost impossible for you to personally manage the exchanges and the communications and the conversations of 1,000 or more contacts. If I look at the most effective lead lists, they're less than 100. They're about anywhere between 50 and 100. A couple of hundred max is enough people to be able to manage. So you have a sheet that you can use to fill out. Even a lead list of as little as 10 to 15 people will still yield a client, a prospective client for your business. So don't get this idea that I've got to go and get thousands of leads, which I'm going to show you where to get thousands of leads. But you want to focus on these key things about the identity, the demographic, the benefit, and more importantly, the source of finding the lead list. So qualifiers for ideal prospects. They must be spending money on advertising and marketing. Anybody that's spending money on AdWords, Facebook ads, billboards, radio, TV, newspaper, magazine, journals, the Google Display Network, anybody, billboards, trade shows, anybody that's investing in acquiring customers is an ideal customer. They're already spending the money, and that means that you don't need to educate them as much on the value of marketing, on the value of managing their leads, right? So that's number one. They must be spending money. Small businesses don't spend money on marketing. This is the biggest mistake that most people make in this world, is they go to the small business market or the small local business market. These people don't have the budgets. They have high expectations. They've never really advertised before. They don't understand that they have to build a structure to generate a strategy that's going to generate a lead list. They don't know how to manage. They don't have optimized sales processes. So small businesses that don't have budgets or don't invest in marketing are not the people you want to speak to. So we're we can identify these people very, very clearly and very quickly. I'm going to show you how in just a moment. So next thing is we have 20 plus employees. Companies that have 20 plus employees, and I'm going to show you how to find businesses with 20 plus employees, very easy. 20 plus employees, they need to feed those mouths. They need to keep the doors open and up and running. So we want to identify how to find companies 20 to 20 plus employees. Brick and mortar assets. They have a building, they have an office, they have people in an office. So they've got money that they have to invest in keeping the doors open. So brick and mortar type businesses are very, have great potential and great opportunity to do business with in relation to lead generation. 2 million to 10 million plus revenue. I'm going to show you how to find businesses who identify with that $2 million to $10 million plus revenue. This is the sweet spot, because the companies that are running at 2 to 10 million, generally the decision maker is either the founder or the owner, and they're very, very accessible. When you go beyond 10 million, now you're starting to deal with CMOs, marketing directors, you're starting to deal with multiple decision makers, and so your sales cycle is going to be a little bit longer. So in that 2 million, 10 million bracket mark, the reason why this figure is important is most companies at that level are investing between 5 and 10% of their revenue, so roughly $100,000 to $500,000 or more on their marketing, which means if we were to look at a slice of that revenue, let's say you're looking for 30 or 50 or 100 or $200,000, they've got the capacity. They're already used to spending that money. So this is why this is a qualifier and this is an identifier. The next thing that you want to be looking at is you want to be looking at, do they have a sales team? Now, do they have a sales team? Might be the owner and a salesperson, right? And so they have to feed leads or generate client opportunities or develop relationships with clients to keep that team going. So do they have a team of salespeople selling their product or service? Do they sell high ticket, $1,000, $30,000 plus per sale, per average sale? Or has a large sales volume, has large sales volumes with multiple SKU items. What I mean by SKU items is that they have multiple products in the marketplace. It doesn't matter if they're a $50 product or a $20 product or a $1,000 product, but they have a lot of those products and they have large volumes of sales. So stores that have multiple inventory or multiple SKUs, these are people who absolutely need to advertise or promote or to attract customers to their marketplace. So these are just some of the real key qualifiers in generating a lead list that you want to be focused on. The next one is the types of lists. So, and we're going to go into a couple of these lists. The familiar list is my favorite list. If I was going to start out, and this is how I started my business, and it's really funny. The majority of people who start their own business start with what we call the familiar list. And the familiar list is our friends, family, associates, alumni, connections, acquaintances. So friends, family, associates, alumni, and acquaintances. Now that's a list that you can build very easily. Some people, that list might be 5 or 10 people. For some people, that list might be up to 50 or 60 people. And what you want to do is with that list is the thing that if you want to really generate sales and really generate it fast, the first thing that you need to do is you need to own what you do. You need to hang your shingle out. And the best way to hang your shingle out is to let people know who know you, what it is that you do, who you help or who you can help, and how you help them. So what you do, who you help, and how you can help them. And I'm going to give you, if you're watching this recording or watching this list, if I was reaching out to my familiar list, I would be sitting and saying, hey, I'm super excited. I've launched a new program or a business or a strategy that is designed to help people get better results in these areas. And I've actually got a system and a process that actually can get guaranteed or can get results and outcomes to help businesses solve this type of problem. I just wanted to reach out to you to let you know this is what I'm working on and this is what I'm doing, and I'd love your support. If you need to see, if you'd like to see what I'm working on and how it might apply or how it might help you, or if you know somebody who might benefit from this type of service to get opportunities, do you mind either making some time with me so we can have a look and I can get your feedback on it, or if you can introduce me to somebody who might benefit from this idea. So that's an email that you can send out to your familiar list immediately, opening the door to generating sales opportunities. Now, to give an example of the results of this sort of stuff, every time somebody runs a familiar list type strategy, they always absolutely generate at least one customer, one client just going to the familiar list. Is it you or someone you know? That's what we're going out to in the familiar list. If we look at that list sheet that you've downloaded in the actual day 2 of consultingrocket.tv/live, you can put their name, their email, their phone number. You've got some contact details, right? You've got some contact details. You can even post, if you've only got your own personal Facebook page, you can even post on your personal Facebook page saying, hey, I just want to let you know, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. This is who I help. The reason why I say that you want to have this conversation as often as possible is this is going to give you, you're going to build your confidence in your message, in the way that you pitch what you do. This is what I do. This is who I help. And these are the results that I try and help clients generate from what we do. So that when people ask you, you can say, hey, this is the business I'm in. So you're verbalizing and you're also engaging at the same time. So for me, a list, very powerful list. Every single person should listen to this training, craft that email, send it out to your familiar list today, not tomorrow, not the next day, today, right? That's what you want to do. The fast action takers are the ones that get the fastest results, right?
Now, so pause for a second, John. So this is really interesting. A lot of people, when you start talking about like friends and family, they automatically, in the back of their head, they feel like, MLM. Right? Multi-level marketing. Now everybody's going to hate me because I'm pitching them. But what you did was just completely different, right?
Well, we're actually telling them what we do. We're not saying that we've got a business opportunity. We're saying this is the business I am in. This is what I do. This is how it helps people get better results. And this might be something that might be of interest to you. I'd love to share how this can work for you. Or if you know someone in business that would benefit from this, do you mind referring them to me? So you're not sharing an MLM thing. You're actually telling them that you're a professional business service that you provide that gets a result for people. This is the business that you're in. You're a business owner that specializes in delivering a skill or a service that helps people get a result to bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be to get better outcomes. So this is why you need to let people know what it is that you're doing, because then they'll talk to people. I cannot tell you how often I've been at a party or a function or somebody's wedding or whatever, and people say, so what is it that you do? And, you say, well, this is what I work on. And say, well, look, probably the best thing you do, if you can benefit from it, I'd love to set up a time and I'd love to show you. I'd love to show you how you can generate opportunities just like we do all day long with hundreds of people. Right? I cannot tell you how often I've accidentally bumped into business just at family functions and family connections and days where people say, hey, I know somebody that needs your help. Right? Mm-hmm. So understand we are in the business of offering our services, and the only time we are in business is when somebody says yes to our offer and puts money in our bank account. Yeah. So the familiar list is a really powerful list. If you look at the majority of the consultants, even if you look at guys like some of my mentors in David Ogilvy, David Ogilvy's very first client was his brother-in-law. David Ogilvy's first client for Ogilvy Mather, the largest advertising firm of its time, the first billion-dollar ad agency. His brother-in-law was his first client, his first ad client. And then he went on to build a behemoth, and now it's owned by WPP, which is the largest agency in the world, right? So for me, a list, very powerful. If you ask anybody that's starting out business, starting a consulting business or starting a marketing business, generally, I would say 70% of the people I talk to get their first client from their familiar list. And if you're looking for clients now, if your familiar list doesn't know what you do, this is your opportunity to introduce yourself to them, educate with them, and open the door to an opportunity.
So it's kind of like what you're saying. It's kind of like having a really good elevator pitch, right? Like, this is what I do, and this is how I help, right?
Yeah, this is what I do. This is who I help, and this is how it helps people get a result that they want. So you keep it really, really simple. You don't need to overthink it. And the more you say it, so this is the thing, the more you have this conversation, the better you go to get at it. Yeah. It's like you fart. We've had these conversations where we're fine-tuning that message, and finally you've come to your current message, which kind of resonates with you and also resonates with people who you speak to. Right?
Yes, actually, this is really funny, guys. So first of all, if you know what your elevator pitch is, put that in the comments. We want to see it. We want to help you own that, right? Because when you own that, then you can actually start building your list and contacting your people, right?
Yeah. People want to pigeonhole you, fart. People want to pigeonhole you, and you want to make it easy for them to pigeonhole you and say, hey, this is the type of stuff you do, right?
Yeah.
So Next list, niche market lists, associations. Again, perfect example, American Society of Plastic Surgeons, the CPA, the Chapter of Practicing Accountants, the American Medical Association. You've got the Society of Engineers in the United States. Associations are over 10,000 associations. They are across in every country, every major city across the world has major associations listed in them. And a lot of these associations have websites, and in those websites, they have lists of people with their names. They actually will connect you with their members for those who are providing services. I'm going to demonstrate this in a moment. Directory lists, house.com, Angel List. These are people where people are spending money on directory aggregated lists. And they are, and things like Yelp, things like House and Angel and iPages and all these types of aggregator websites charge people for leads, and those leads are not exclusive leads. These are leads that are shared with competitors, so you don't even get exclusivity, but you're paying for the privilege of being on a searched page. Bookings.com, Priceline, Expedia, the travel market. Bookings.com spends $2.5 billion just on AdWords, $2.5 billion on AdWords. And so understand that aggregator lists are very powerful lists because these people spend money. I'm going to show you how to get and extract those leads. Social media lists, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I cannot tell you how Twitter has been an amazing lead source. If you follow an influencer within a niche market, you'll find all the top players are in their list, and you can actually extract their names, phone numbers, emails from those lists, or you can direct message those people when you follow or join those lists. So I'm going to show you a really cool LinkedIn strategy on how to identify or actually build a really strong, identifiable, qualified list. So these are some of the types of lists that you want to generate in the market. And before I do the LinkedIn strategy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my pages here. Where am I? My pages, which is right here. Awesome. So I'm going to share with you, I'll give you house.com. You should be seeing house.com. And you'll notice here it's got a search bar, but it's got find a professional or find a product. And so if you look at find a professional, look at the niche markets that house.com has in this lead list. It has architects, interior designers, decorators, kitchen designers. You can look based on location, zip code, and generally the top 20 people that are advertising. So let's say we clicked on architectural landscape designers. There's 1,120 landscape architect and landscape design people on this list. And these people here, so Banyan Gardens, Fluid Design, Inspiring Landscape Solutions, Waddle, these people are paying between $2,000 and $5,000 a month to be listed in-house. $2,000 to $5,000 a month. That means they're spending money on marketing. You can actually get somebody off Upwork or off Fiverr to actually scrape this lead list and find who the owner is of these businesses that you can actually just connect with. Or you can contact these people on these buttons here and find out who the owner or who the person you need to be speaking to. And here's the thing. It even breaks down into subcategories: landscape design, deck design, patio design. So there are actual sub lists in this list. So there's 1,220 landscape design people in my current zip code. I'm in Venice Beach, California, and that's roughly what it's giving me as a locator. Let alone that there are tens of thousands of people on this list. House.com has multiple. Look at all the different breakdowns of all the different subcategories. So all of these people are lists that you can go to. One of my favorite databases is obviously not working, compass.com. Is a database that you can use. If you drill into compass.com, it'll allow you to select a niche. If you select a niche and a city, it'll allow you to drill down. And when you hit on the link, it'll show you who the owner is, the managing director, the CEO, the CMO. It'll give you a lead list inside the actual directory. If you're looking at professional associations, here's another list. This is the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. Now, I did a search for New York City, New York. I didn't put in the doctor's name, and I didn't want to use my current location, but I just put in New York and I hit search. And you'll notice that here there is a map with all these doctors on Manhattan. But in actual fact, there are 20 doctors per page, and right now there are 398 doctors, plastic surgeons, In the New York area, there's only one city. If I went and searched this list, I could actually scrape. Look at this. I've got the name: David Schaefer, Oren Lerman, Sachin, Glenn Becker, Christine Road. I've got their names, I've got photos, I've got phone numbers, and I can even get emails. But I can actually get somebody to scrape this list and have a list of plastic surgeons who are looking for plastic surgery patients that will invest anywhere between $10,000 or up to $100,000 plus on mommy tucks, on rhinoplasty surgery, on body augmentations, right? So this is a hot list. Right? A lot of plastic surgeons spend a lot of money. In fact, I was just recently driving in Australia, and there's this huge billboard on the highway of a couple of plastic surgeons saying, hey, we're the best plastic surgeons in Australia. They're spending 30 grand a month on a billboard. 30 grand a month on a billboard, and their face on there, not before and after shots of the work that they do, but hey, look at us. We're the celebrity plastic surgeons, right? So very easy to find names through association websites. This is one example that you can use to find leads, right? Next example, and I'm going to be going to questions very shortly, is the exhibitor directory. Now, I love CES. This is a trade show that I go to every year. I've built some great relationships and got some fantastic business out of this trade show. Now, you'll notice that they have an A to Z list. Now, this show is the largest consumer electronics show in the world. It has more than 4,000 exhibitors. The average exhibitor is spending a minimum, the small exhibitors are spending a minimum of $30,000 to be here for 4 days, 30 grand. The average exhibitor is spending 100,000 plus, and there's a lot of exhibitors in this trade show that are spending $1 million up to $8 million to display their products and services at this trade show for 4 days. 4 days. So imagine you got 4 days to sell. There are 361 days left in the year to be promoting, but they're spending hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to exhibit, to sell their after clients here at this show. And you can actually take this entire list, and when you go into the directory, I'm just going to randomly pick D as the directory, featured directory. So look at the companies, right? So for example, Data Micro Incorporated, it's going to go into, it gives me the location. This is a Korean-based company. It gives me a phone number, it gives me a website, but also it will give me their location of their booth if I'm visiting the trade show. But when you dig deeper into some of these connections, it'll give you the managing director or the owner of the business. Right, so you can actually drill down, and this is a list of 5,000 people who are spending cash, lots of cash in multiple niches. In fact, you can actually look by floor plan. It'll show you how they break up all the niches in the floor plans. So you can select areas to find exhibitors who are spending lots of money for marketing. This is a great lead list and a great place to find leads. So another place where my champions have generated hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, Jasper Brown picked up his first 3 clients, built a $1.8 million agency working part-time. He had a full-time job working for Chicago Power. He built a $1.8 million agency. His first 3 customers with me came from this really cool list. It is the Inc. 5000 most successful companies in the United States, the fastest growers. And the cool thing is you can select the industry. It'll break down by industry. You can break it down by state. You can break it down by metro and city, and you can also break it down by the years on the list, how many years they've been involved in this list. And so this basically, you can actually even break down by revenue. Remember I said companies $2 million or more. You can do an advanced search and say, I only want to target companies from $2 million to $10 million. And on this list right now, this is the 2019 list, there are 1,242 companies that sit between $2 million and $5 million. This also gives you the niche that they're in. It also tells you what their revenue is. Think about it. 5 to 10% of revenue on marketing, a $36 million company, that's between $1.5 and $3 million invested in marketing. These are the types of businesses that you want to be reaching out to. This is absolute gold this list. Now, the cool thing is, if you're watching me from Europe, there is also an Inc. 5000 European, and it breaks down by country, by industry, by city, by time on list, and also you can go to revenue. You can say, hey, 5 million euro or 2 million euro to 10 million euro. There are actually just over 1,000 companies that you can target in that bracket. That's a lot of companies that are spending a ton of money, that are growing at a rate of, the average rate of growth is about 300% over a 3-year period, which is pretty good growth. Some of them a little bit more. But also, let me tell you, these companies are not that difficult. They're quite easy to reach out to in the marketplace. So this is how you find a whole bunch of lists. I'm just showing you exactly where to find them. Now, my favorite list, I'm going to share this strategy with you, and then I'm going to be answering your questions and helping you out here with the list. So LinkedIn strategy. LinkedIn is probably the best and most trusted business list on the planet. It has over just close to billions or so people on the actual list, 500 million active users, which is massive. The average person will go and visit LinkedIn between once every 3 weeks or once every 30 days is the average. 25% of the people on their list are actively engaged in LinkedIn on a daily basis. That's a lot of people. The other thing is it's very easy to do. I'm going to share with you a really simple way where you can get 30 to 40 leads every single day that you can search for if you use the Sales Navigator solution that LinkedIn provide. And you can touch base with these people and start using those offers that I shared yesterday to reach out to people. So here's the strategy that you're looking to do. First thing is you want to use Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator is a membership platform for LinkedIn. Roughly costs anywhere between $60 and $97 a month. It's very inexpensive. One customer is going to more than pay for this for the next 10 years. Then what you want to do is you want to connect with a very unique person. Because what we want to do is want to connect with people we want to be connected with. Now, these are the people you don't want to necessarily do business with, but you are interested in their connections. So they have these people called LinkedIn Lions. A LinkedIn Lion is a LinkedIn open networker. LinkedIn open networker. That's what Lion stands for. You can actually search for these people in Sales Navigator. And then what you want to do is you write a quick message and say, hey, I'm trying to build my connections on LinkedIn. I want to connect with open networkers just like you. Can we connect? That's your connection email that you send out to a LinkedIn open networker. Now you want to connect with about 20 to 50 of these people. If you connect with 20 or 50 of these people in your market, whether it be US, Europe, Australia, Asia, that'll open yourself up to millions of up to 6 degrees of connections. Now I know I'm talking really fast. But if you listen to this recording, it'll give you all the information you need. The reason I'm speaking fast is I want to spend more time talking to you than rather me gabbing on. But this is an easy way to find a list. Now, once we have those LinkedIn lines connecting, we can go back into Sales Navigator and we want to do a search. And this is what we want to use in our search, these designators. We want a decision maker with a designation of managing director, CEO, owner, founder, president, principal, managing partner. Managing director, CEO, owner, founder, principal, president, managing partner in the search criteria for the title designation. Remember, title designation, demographic, right? So 20 plus employees, you can actually select in a category in LinkedIn Navigator, companies with 20 to 50 plus employees. This is the sweet spot. 2 million to 10 million. 2 million to 10 million is a sweet spot. Companies that do 2 million to 20 million have at least 20 to 50 plus employees, right? Now, you want to extract, when you hit search, you want to make sure that you're also targeting a designated audience. So it might be on targeting, plastic surgeons. It might be targeting accountants. I might be targeting professional services, lawyers. I might be targeting IT people. I might be targeting people who specialize in products or e-commerce, or so I can actually designate the target audience. Now, you're going to hit the search bar, and there are going to be some tabs in front of you. And in those tabs on the left-hand side, you're going to have the list. And that list, if you connect with these LinkedIn lines, you might have 20, 30,000 people on that list. Way too many people to connect and engage with. Way too many people to connect and engage. 20, 30,000. That's not the list that you want. What you want to go is 4 tabs over, and there's this tab that reads, posted in LinkedIn in the last 30 days. Posted in LinkedIn in the last 30 days. Now, this list, the only reason somebody is posting in LinkedIn is because they are looking for clients, they're looking for branding, they're looking to put their message out there, they're looking to engage customers. So posted in LinkedIn last 30 days. You hit that tab and you'll find that that list is a little bit smaller. It might be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, a lot more manageable. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to extract that list because I'm not here to do that, but I'm showing you that that is a list. If you're using Sales Navigator, you can actually work that list. You can reach out to them. You can say, hey, this is what I specialize in. I help people get this type of result. I'd love to teach you or show you a strategy that's working right now to help people get this, to bridge the gap of getting this result in your market. Are you interested in having a look at how this can work for you? There's an outreach message, right? In LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you're allowed to do 33 of these per month. If you were nurturing 33 prospects into your CRM per month, I'll guarantee you're going to be making 2 to 3 sales a month just using this strategy that I've just shared with you in identifying and finding ideal lists. So that's it for my talking points. I just want to recap very quickly so that I can answer your questions. Yafat, I'm ready for you to moderate. Finding hot qualified prospects, you want to make sure who will benefit the most, what is the identity of the decision maker, what are the demographics, the sociographic and characteristics, what are the best sources to find them. Qualifiers for ideal prospects must be spending money on advertising and marketing, 20 plus employees, brick and mortar assets, $2 to $10 million plus revenue, have sales teams, sell high ticket, 1,000 to 30,000, or have large sales volumes with multiple SKUs. Types of lists. Familiar list number one, that sheet that you have to fill in lists, that is the first list that I would like you all to build. Number one, familiar list. 2, the prospect list, niche market association, directory list, social media. I showed you how to find, how you can Google those. These are all free leads. There are so many events out there that have trade show lists that you can actually just download, and generally will have the managing director or owner's name as the registrant for that trade show exhibit. So that's why they're really hot qualified lists. Directory listings, things like Houzz, AngelList, social media lists, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. LinkedIn strategy that I've just shared with you. Sign up for Sales Navigator. Connect with Lions. Do a search for 1st to 6th degree connections, decision maker designation, 20 plus employees. Then you can go to the search, go to the tab that says actively posted in the last 30 days, and that is your active list. Those people looking for clients, you are there to help people looking for clients. So Yafat, back to you. Happy to answer questions, happy to talk strategy, happy to help people on the call.
Awesome. So I see a lot of people already are on our spreadsheet here. Guys, download this. Just go to Day 2 Consulting Rocket.tv/live. And right here on the top, you can get access to this spreadsheet and start filling it up. You don't, like John said, you don't need a lot of prospects and leads. You just need quality ones, right? So the way to do this is view only. You're going to click on file, and we're going to make sure that you can make a copy, and you can make a copy out of that, right? And then just fill this up, because tomorrow, in the next few days, John is actually going to show you how to engage with these clients, get an appointment, and then what to say, exactly what to say on that appointment so that you can convert these prospects into buyers. So Francis is the first one that had, okay, so stop sharing your screen, John. And we're gonna
stop sharing my screen.
And then we're gonna let Francis in. Francis, you want to turn your camera on? Let's see you. There we go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Francis, back again. Good to see you.
How you doing? Good to see you too.
All right, how can I help you?
Right. So this was just about articulating my offer. Yafat asked me to shoot my current offer for you to annihilate it, and I'll do just that. So I had it.
I don't want to annihilate it. Let's tweak it to make it work. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So it currently stands at something like this: I help creative service businesses grow their sales pipeline, get new clients, and systematize their marketing and sales online.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's a good elevator pitch. That's a good pitch. I mean, that's telling people exactly what you do. And if I was to take that just one step further, I help creative businesses get direct contacts with contracts that are going to invest between $30 and $500,000 in sales.
Nice.
Right? So now we're going to the direct thing of what somebody who you're talking to in the creative market is interested in. Do you want me to connect you with people who are going to spend between $30 and $500,000 on campaigns for your creative? That's what I do. Yeah?
Gotcha. Okay, that's all for me tonight.
That basically goes straight to the heart of what your clients want. Because people say, well, how the hell do you do that? So, well, we've got a system, we've got a strategy, we've got a process, and at the end of the day, our goal is to help you reach your aspirations. So if we can sit down, talk about getting really clear about your aspirations, and then more importantly, devise a plan on how we can bridge the gap to introduce you to those types of clients so they choose your agency first. Would that be cool, Francis?
Very cool.
There's your script right there, dude.
I like it. Thank you very much, John.
Thanks, Francis, for being on.
Okay.
So Stuart, you're next. Stuart, let's see you and see if you're unmuted. There we go.
Hey, Stuart. Hey there, Stuart.
Unmute myself. Finally.
There you go.
My question, I guess, is on the LinkedIn strategy, and also I've had real good success with trade organizations and conventions. Fantastic places to meet one-on-one and get face-to-face with people. At that point, then you need to have your opening remarks nailed. And I think at this point I would say, and I'm sort of like Francis, I'm not 100% sure. I think I would say, my business is in helping you protect your intellectual property, your client list, and your employees from cyber theft and to increase. I lost it. That's not really what I wanted, John.
That's okay. Look, it's just like having a conversation. One of the things that I would sort of kind of carry into is, number one thing, you want to protect your assets. You want to minimize your risk of being penetrated online, because right now everybody's being attacked. So my job is to protect people, to protect your asset, minimize your risk, and more importantly, to make sure that you control your online assets. Yeah. As a business owner, I'm sure that the last thing you want is to be taken down by a scrupulous hacker who doesn't know who you are, who doesn't care who you are, and ultimately, you want to make sure that that you don't allow people like that into your process. So, number one, I help you to protect your asset. I help you to protect your intellectual property, but more importantly, I help you to protect your business.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So that's a really simple way of saying, of just saying, hey, this is what I do. I want to make sure my goal is to make sure that you own and protect and minimize any risk that you have of anybody attacking you online right now. And there are a lot of places where you can have breaches, even internally and externally, and it's happening every day. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you minimize that risk, because it is far too valuable to have your own intellectual property distributed, without your permission.
Let's find and describe those risks and give you the tools to eliminate.
Yeah, very quickly.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good to see you here.
My pleasure. So we got Josh, and Josh doesn't have a camera, so we're just going to have his voice. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hello.
How can I help you?
I'm not even quite sure. I really don't have an elevator pitch or anything like that. I've been making like lead gen sites and learning SEO for a while.
When you say you're making lead gen sites, Josh, who are you making lead gen sites for?
I mean, personally, just for myself, and then selling the leads to business owners.
Who you selling leads to?
HVAC companies. I'm only really working with one guy, but I've made like 5 sites, and he has 5 of them.
Awesome. Now. So you've created a multi-channel client acquisition strategy for HVAC businesses. for
I
a
guess.
HVAC business. So you could go to the market and say, look, what I specialize in is creating a multi-channel attraction strategy for HVAC. Most HVACs only have one channel. The way to maximize your opportunity in the market is I actually build multiple channels, so we have a much larger spread and a much greater ability to attract and engage clients and either invest commercially or in residential HVAC. Can I show you how that works? There's your pitch, Josh.
Sounds good.
I would imagine if I was a HVAC company, I'd at least be interested or curious as to how that would work.
Yeah.
So you do have an elevator pitch and you do have an offer, and it's already working for somebody you're working with right now. You just want to be reaching out to HVAC business and say, hey, I think I've got, most people make the mistake of having one channel. What if you had multiple channels driving inquiries from people for commercial jobs and for residential jobs in the marketplace? This is one of the fastest ways to have a much larger reach in your market, to be able to brand your business, brand your services as a leading provider, and more importantly, become a lot more visible using a multi-channel approach. It'd be really great if I could sit down and just share that with you, just so that you can get an idea of how you can get better reach and better penetration in your marketplace.
And then what would
There's
you
your
do?
email, dude.
What would you do as in like price wise structuring? Like, would you?
How much do you want to charge for a multi-channel funnel? How long does it take you to build a funnel, Josh?
Well,
A working funnel.
I really don't do it with funnels at all. I really just I'm just really ranking the site and then using like call tracking software to forward all the calls in.
Okay, cool. So you're running organic, using organic traffic direct to call and tracking that call, so they can actually monitor and measure ROI.
Right.
Okay, so what are you charging now?
I do 40 a lead.
$40 a lead. Okay, how much does it cost you per lead?
I really don't have those numbers, I guess, just because it's all organic.
Yep.
So
Okay. So if you're selling the lead at $40 a pop, for every 10 leads, it's $400. What you want to do is you want to sell a package of leads. So what you want to do, because the average sale could be anywhere between, depending on HVAC, could be a $5,000, $8,000 for an upgrade job, or $12,000 for a new installation, or it could be $30,000 or $100,000 on a commercial RFP, right? So my question would be, if I gave you qualified leads, because a qualified lead is a direct inquiry, and we can track and measure that conversation, would it be worth investing $100 per connection?
Right.
So 10 connections, $1,000. So now you've just doubled your revenue on 10 leads. You're more than double your revenue. You've gotten an extra $60 per lead. So how much would you price? You could probably charge a package. You could say, hey, for $2,000, we'll generate 40 phone calls or 20 phone calls a month. For $5,000, we can generate 100 plus phone calls. Yeah.
Right.
So you can charge whatever you like, as long as the value proposition relates to the sale or the sales opportunity with the client. But I've just done 3 things for you, Josh. I've crafted your message and your offer. I've crafted, so in your outreach, I've crafted, you've got tracking and measuring in that process. I've given you a price point. The thing that you got to do, Josh, is you need to go to other HVAC companies and say, hey, we're already doing this. What if we could show you how we can do this for you?
Yeah.
And reach out to them. Now, if you go to the HVAC Association, what state are you in, Josh? Where are you based?
I'm in Ohio.
You're in Ohio. So a little bit south of you, there's a state called Texas. Don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit to the west of you, there's a state called California. And a little to the east of you is the state of New York. These are 3 of the largest heavily populated areas in the United States. Each state has its own association in the HVAC market. So you can go to the Texas chapter, the California chapter, the New York chapter, and you'll have a lead list of all HVAC companies in those areas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just reach out and say, hey, this is what we're doing. We're getting high quality, high connection, high conversion client opportunities who are directly coming and searching and looking for your particular business. If I can show you how the strategy works and how you get a guaranteed phone call, can we talk?
Can I ask you another question?
Yes.
What if, all right, so I've been working with this company for a couple years now.
Yep.
And how would you go about? Because obviously, I know that the leads are worth more than that.
Yeah.
Just by seeing how many he's scheduling and
Yep.
stuff like that. I would like to renegotiate the price point.
So offer a bigger package. If you want to renegotiate the price point, offer a different package, a bigger package. Upsell them to a bigger package. That's the way I would do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks,
Thank
Josh.
you.
Appreciate it. I see Baldeep Chawla there. Good
Yeah,
to see you,
I know.
man.
We're getting
Karen's surprise. Hey, Karen. Got a few familiar
a few
faces.
familiar faces. So before we move on to Karen, we have a few things. So guys, as you're watching John just craft these messages on the spot for people, if you want help as well, consultingrocket.tv/live. We have about 10 more minutes, so sneak on in and get brainstorm with John in real time. And we have a comment on YouTube. She's saying, I don't know who it is, CSCS. Just starting out with no experience, how should I pick a niche that won't be saturated?
So I'm going to answer that question because sometimes we get so caught up in we've got to pick a niche. What I would suggest you, if you're just starting out, is actually let the niche pick you. Just offer your services to businesses that you believe would benefit. The way to find businesses would benefit is look at who's offering your services to the market. So who's buying, who's offering, what are they offering, how much are they charging? This gives you an idea of a buying market. Then you can go to businesses in the market that are already buying what you sell or want to sell, and you can say, hey, do you need help? Let me share a really simple strategy on how to get a result. So that's what I would do. Don't get caught up in picking a niche when you're just starting out. What you want to do is gain experience by generating a client as quickly as possible. That's what you're looking to do. Okay?
And if you need help with that, right here, we got the spreadsheet. We got all the training. Rewatch this training today and show up tomorrow. We're building on top of it. So we'll get you there. And so Karen, hi, how are you? Let's unmute you. Hello.
Hey, Karen.
Hello.
How you
Is
doing?
my audio on?
Your audio's on. I can hear loud and clear.
Great. Awesome. So I'm a web developer and kind of a freelance artist. I'm really used to like having one very small client. Like I think my biggest client right now runs a swim school. And I've usually been working with solopreneurs. So it's kind of like opening up my mind a little bit to talk about working at this scale.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to wrap my mind around that, but I do have a client slash guy that I've been working with who desperately needs sales help. And he has all this experience working with like Ford and Pepsi and Subaru and all these Fortune 500 things, but he can't make sales. And so,
well, what is he selling? What
UX.
is he selling?
He's a UX designer.
You're a UX designer. So are you asking for him or are you asking for you?
I think I'm asking for him because I don't even really know how to ask for me because I don't know how to sell at this. I mean, the one thing I've kind of looked into was a local SEO product.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a great product that would work in with my niche as a web designer, but I'm finding a lot of resistance to it from the people I'm connecting with.
So Karen, how do you get your clients right now?
Right now, word of mouth.
Okay. So do you think, have you got a little list? Have you got a familiar list?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to recommend you do. Can you give me an idea of roughly what you're charging for a basic website? What are you charging?
Basic website, I would say in between $3,000 and $7,000.
Awesome. Okay. So do you want to start selling $10,000 and $15,000 and $20,000 websites?
Mm-hmm.
So have a package that has a $10,000 website in it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Have a package. What would you add? I'm not asking you to fill this. I'm just saying, what would you add to build a $10,000 or a $15,000 or a $20,000 website? So what are the additions?
Right.
And you want to start offering that as a solution or an option when you're talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to start looking. The thing that I would recommend, Karen, for you is you, like so many people, need to redo their sites right now. Even responsive websites from a mobile platform point of view don't really work. They're not really effective. They don't navigate properly. So mobile being 70% of search these days, and this is where people are interacting, most people have got it wrong. And so it's very easy to sit and say, yeah, your current website might be okay on a desktop, but if it comes to functionality, it's not working for you in the way that you need it to when people are searching for your product online. So maybe it's
isn't
time-
that hard to sell that kind of as a negative thing to come in and say,
No.
hey, your site sucks,
No.
you know?
No, because people say your site sucks all the time. People know that their sites suck. People,
Yeah.
you know, one question, if you want to generate sales right now, Karen, I would go out to the market and say, who's looking for a redo? Who feels like their current site needs to be rebranded and redone? That's the offer I would make. Forget about the type of website, what you're doing. I would go to the market and say, who has been thinking about a redo? Let's talk about what that can look like for you to make that work for you. Because ultimately, this is the corner store that you have, the cornerstone of your, this is your front door, right? For your business. And if you don't get that right, which most people don't, and if you don't have that working in a way where people can engage and take action and actually invest or buy your products or services, which is what you want this thing to do in the first place, then you're missing out on opportunity. So this is the shop front window to your business. Yeah.
Right.
So understand that, you know, you've got to maximize. There are people who need to redo. So many people are out there looking at redos. I need a redo. I only built one just a year and a half ago, and now I need a redo, right? So understand that you, by offering it, by opening yourself up and saying, hey, do you need some help? Do you want to see what it looks like to have a site that's going to be relevant, that's going to make it easy for customers to engage and buy, and more importantly, give you a much better branding, much better messaging, and better presence in the marketplace? Are you interested in looking at a site like that for your business?
Right.
Yes or no? Really simple. You can rewatch this video that's going to be up live shortly, right? So you can listen to my scripting. As for your friend as a UX designer, what I would recommend him to do is to actually go and look at companies that are actually investing in UX design people and say, hey, if you need a UX designer, I've worked with some of the largest corporations in the world. Can I have a conversation with you about UX design? Because those sites are looking for him in the marketplace. LinkedIn, build his profile on LinkedIn. I'm a UX designer. Get your profile if he's a total introvert, total nerd geek, and struggles at being a communicative human being, right? Because some people like me struggle with being a communicative human being, right? You might not know that, but I'm an introvert, not an extrovert. I had to learn how to be this boisterous. But understand that there are options, like sitting there saying, I can't sell. He has a skill. He has a very valuable skill. There are UX designers that I know that are making millions of dollars because of their skill set in the marketplace, working for companies like Ford and BMW and these major corporations. So it's not about him selling. It's about him putting himself out there to say, hey, if you need some advice, you need some help, or you need my expertise, let's talk. Because there are a myriad of projects out there right now for your friend that require UX design. Him being out of work is a crime, right? Because right now, UX is probably one of the most important aspects of development in the marketplace, because that user experience is absolutely vital and critical. So he is in a market where his skill set is actually in very high demand. But if nobody knows who he is, that's where his problem is. So he's got to start putting himself out there to say, hey, I'm ready, I'm available. These are the types of projects I work on. Do you need some help? Can I sit down, have a conversation, right? That's what he has to do, right? He doesn't have to outwardly go. He can attract his opportunities, but use the social networks for him to attract up opportunities. For yourself, Karen, you want to be letting people know that they can redo their stuff. That's a really big area that most people need improvement on. And 85% of sites out there don't work, have broken links, are terrible to do SEO on, haven't been touched in the last 3 to 5 years. So things have changed. If you know that we're working in a very fast changing world, I work with people who sell websites at 35 to 40 grand. These are basic websites. I work with people who sell blueprint design for 50 grand before you even do a website, just to sit down and let's map out your website. That's what people are paying out there, Karen, in the marketplace, because they understand the value of that shop front window that they're developing in the market. So there are people out there. Domino's Pizza spent $3.5 million on an app that they have changed 3 times in the last 4 years. They've spent millions. They actually spent $7 million a year on email marketing. Domino's Pizza spends $7 million a year on email marketing, and they generate $1 billion plus in pizza sales of a $5 pizza, right? So understand what the opportunities are. Understand that if you don't offer what you have to offer, and it is important, people need what you do, right? Because it's the shopfront window to the world. You should not be in a shortage of opportunity. In fact, you should be so flat out that you actually have to hire people to do the project work for you. That's where you want to be.
Yeah,
and let
that's
me tell you, there's a lot of stuff out there. So the only person that can do that, Karen, is you.
Yay.
Right.
Good.
So just got to let people know. You got to, I've given how to reach out. I've given how to engage. I've given you where you can find the lists of people. This idea of the negative, like, hey, your current website sucks. Some people will agree with you. They'll go, yeah, it does suck. Yeah, we need to fix it. Can I sit down and talk to you about a way in which we can make that better? Yeah.
Frankly, that's the kind of people I prefer to work with anyway, because they value my opinion more, right? When
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So hopefully that's helped you and your friend Karen.
Great. Thank you so much, John.
Welcome.
So the one thing that you need to do right now, Karen, is make a copy of that spreadsheet, fill it out, send an email, just go back and listen to the replay. It's on consultingrocket.tv live. Listen to that, right? Just craft an email and send it out, and then see what happens, right? We'll be here for another 8 days, so we can build on this.
Yifat, can you put the link to that in the chat? Because I couldn't find it I was looking around on the site when you guys were talking before, and I couldn't find the link to the spreadsheet.
By the way, Karen, also right now, handicap accessible sites are very big. Domino's Pizza just lost a Supreme Court case over a handicap accessible site. So you need to make your site handicap accessible. Thanks, Paul Dick, for reminding me on that one. Appreciate that, dude. But that is a huge problem in a lot of states right now.
Yeah, I think Beyonce just got sued because her site wasn't ADA accessible.
Yep. Need to make that work.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
So now taking action. So we have, we're out of time, but I have one more question from YouTube. Mike is asking, first of all, CSCS says that she likes what you said about just starting with getting one client, and that helps her move past her current mindset of like, oh my God, I don't have anything and I don't have anyone and I'm not going to do anything. So that was fantastic, John.
If you can't offer it, they can't buy it. So you want to let people know what you do and say, hey, do you need some help? Can I show you how this works? Can we work together to get a result? You want to get your first client if you're just starting out as quickly as possible. That could be a friend, associate, or somebody. Don't offer people free stuff. Don't do that. You're a professional and you're in business, and to be in business, you need to be paid. So you want to make sure that you're being paid for your services.
And one last question from Mike. He says, I am a video content creator. How would you promote that to businesses?
Oh man, you're in the best, fastest growing market on the planet, dude. Video content creator, my God, people need so much content. So there's a couple of ways that you can do, Mike. One of the fastest ways is to actually deal with larger agencies that need production for content for their clients. So reaching out to agencies, say, hey, I'm a video marketing content provider. We specialize in creating packages or communication packages or branding packages for people so they can use it for SEO or they can use it for explainer or promotion. If you need any help, you can reach out to me and let's talk about some of the strategies. So there are ad agencies right around the world that are desperate for your services, Mike, right now. Absolutely desperate. I was just at a conference in Chiang Mai in Thailand where there are over 1,000 companies that are desperately looking for content for SEO. So larger SEO agencies that are looking for unique content, and video is very interactive. It's very engaging. So you are in the sweet spot, dude. Production and unique content is big dollars. You can create packages, you can create services out of those services from the production. You can actually niche down into key types of content for industry specific niches. You should be absolutely blown away with work right now, dude. There is so much money in what you do, and let me tell you, letting people know, putting it out there is as quickly as possible. But the first place I would go to is get a list of larger branded agency who've got clients who need your video content. So if you're a production, you're editing and you're creating content that is relevant to the marketplace, mate, they are looking for you. They are desperate for your services. I cannot tell you every single event that I've attended in the last 3 months, and there's a lot of them. The number one thing a lot of people talk about is creating unique content. And so video is very, very powerful. You are in the sweet spot, dude. Absolutely. So that's what I would do. First place, go to people who can sell it for you. That's number one. Number two, look for people who are posting, that LinkedIn strategy that people are regularly posting. Sit and say, hey, how would you like to make this more dynamic? How would you like to get thousands of eyeballs on video content? Let me craft unique content. Let me create a program where we're putting out 3 or 4 pieces every single month so that we can get engagement, interaction in the market. So just for you, that whole LinkedIn strategy is a huge opportunity for you, Mike. Huge opportunity. So yeah.
I love it. I'm basically getting competition right here, am I?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So tomorrow, guys, we are going to talk. So first, we talked about getting an irresistible offer. That was yesterday. If you haven't watched that, get that offer, watch the replay, get the offer. Today, we talked about how to find quality prospects that can afford your irresistible offer. And tomorrow, we are going to talk about engaging your prospects and picking their interest so that they can show up to an appointment where you do a presentation. That's tomorrow, same time. If you want to get notified when we are live, consultingrocket.tv. With no space, right? I just make the space so that it's easy for your eyes. Consultingrocket.tv, one word. Go in there, opt in. You're going to get more training, but definitely you're going to get the access and reminders to John. Mike says, brilliant. Thanks both. This is great. So this is it, guys, for today. Now it's action time, right? Go download the spreadsheet, fill it out with like 10, 15 people. So tomorrow when we are getting to the engagement, you have people to engage with. John, any final words?
Just go back and look at yesterday's video, then watch today's video. You really should be taking, right now, you should take the offers that we created yesterday and just apply them and send them out to this list. So even if you did it one at a time, and by tomorrow you would have done 4 or 5 of these out to the market, you're starting that process. You're starting that engagement. So the key here is implementation and execution is key. Not having knowledge without the use turns you into a knowledgeable derelict. You don't want to be a knowledgeable derelict, you want to be the action taker. So the fastest way to learn is to do, and the fastest way to learn is to actually have the experience. So for all of you here, apply some of the stuff we're doing. Love to get some feedback tomorrow. We'll love to get some feedback on people who have built their offer, who have created a list. Let us know and make sure you're sharing this stuff so that we can actually give you some of these great prizes that we've set up in this live training. So thank you all for being here. Really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, where we're going to start that conversation, actually have the cool stuff happen where people are going to start to agree that they need to sit down and spend some money with you. Thanks for being here, everybody.
And thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.